the CEO. That was not done. Neither did our state take any responsibility and convey this to its citizens that this is extremely important, unlike some other states like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, who worked on this. Third thing is that even from, I'm now bringing attention toward the SIR process, from the time it started, it was riddled with problems. One, for example, it was arbitrary. Some with the same documents were taken, others with the same documents were rejected. It was non-transparent, no clarity on what is happening, what is allowed, what is not happening, what is not allowed. Citizen unfriendly. People were in distress. How do we get included? What is the fraud? Why are we getting notice? For example, inaccessible. People didn't know where to go. It was far away from their houses. Reaching there, they had to make 3 trips, 4 trips sometimes. Information that was necessary to get included was either absent, it was incomplete or inaccurate. Third thing was the process was ad hoc. When it began, they said do this. Then midway they said okay, this will do. Then they changed it again. So this was very ad hoc process. Third was that documents, your procedures also differed. For example, where I went for my own special hearing in Panjim, how they were set up, who asked, who checked, and what the process was different from my friends who did it in Panjim. You know, that's different places, different things. Similarly, documents. Some were accepted, some people Aadhaar accepted, some people it wasn't accepted, they differed. And then when there were some instructions and interventions were powerful, then there were changes and some were accepted. So this entire process, I think, needs to be looked as very arbitrary, very citizen unfriendly, and exclusionary. The right to citizenship should be inclusive as per our Representation Act in the Constitution. But this process was completely contrary to what that Act says. Thank you. The rest others.
Yeah, Savio. As explained by Asmis as well as Radhika ma'am. Right from day one, that is 4th of November 2025, we have been monitoring this exercise. And on the very first day, we had exposed how the Election Commission was giving arbitrary figures, unrealistic figures. As far as the enumeration, you see 4th of November, enumeration form distribution had started. And 5th of November we went to ask for the number of forms that are distributed, wherein we get a list from one particular constituency that 60-70% of forms were distributed in one day, that is on 4th of November. We cross-checked with the concerned BLOs, wherein they told us that no, we have just completed 20, 60, 100, like that. But here they were showing 300, 400, more than 60%. So this we brought on immediately before the Chief Electoral Officer's attention. And we said that something wrong is happening, because we also got to know that certain political powers were taking all the enumeration forms in bulk, and they were sort of distributing whoever they wanted. So this is what had come to our attention. So this we brought. Thereafter, after a few days, we went door to door to check whether the forms are being collected and whether the acknowledgement copy was handed over to the voters. There also we saw in one particular booth, every house complained that the second copy was not given to them. Somehow the BLO also arrives there when we are going door to door, and he admits, I have not given to them. I think form the owner, they सांडळीत म्हण. आता हे एक्सक्यूज दितात की तो सांडळीत ते लोक सांडळीत म्हण आम तांकां दिवना, म्हज्या कडेन दवरलें मागीर दितलो अशें. So this was another thing that we brought to the notice of the Chief Electoral Officer. In return, what we get for monitoring so aggressively this exercise, we get FIRs on us. An FIR was filed against me, wherein it was alleged that I went in district library, South District Library, where SIR program was going on, and I disturbed their program. I threatened the BLO. I took videograph. This was a complaint, and the police registered an FIR. As far as the district library was concerned, I have not even stepped at library for months together. Still, I cross-checked what sort of program was going on. Wherein they told me that no election-related program is happening in district library. So to get something in black and white, I filed an RTI with the central library and got in black and white that the district library premises were not used at all for any electoral purpose whatsoever. So this sort of targeting was going on from the government basically, so that we should not check what all wrong is happening. So this is what we have experienced. Thereafter, so many when the enumeration forms submission and all ended, thereafter objections, filing of objections, the second phase started. We have observed how BLA2 of the BJP were filing claims, objections basically, against people who are very much present in that particular booth, in that particular area, in their houses.
And in bulk, 100 like that. And whereas the other opposition parties, including the Congress party,
That time they were not allowing more than 10, but they were allowed, the BJP BLA2 were allowed even 100, 150 each BLA. And that also against the people who were very much there present. So basically they wanted to keep them occupied, send notices or maybe not sending notices, and then say that they have not attended the hearing and their names are deleted. So like this, we observe that many may have been deleted, which we have to cross-verify now in the SIR. So all these things now we have to ensure that, as Radhika has said, that exclusion has been taken, they have taken more stress on exclusion, and that also on their non-voters who may who may be unlikely to vote for the ruling party. So this is something wrong that has happened. Now they have given 15 days. They say that from the 21st of February, 15 days will be given to file appeal. The appeal forms also are not available just on the website. So it is not really available. Neither the BLOs. This is the actual, I'll tell you, the BLOs are even not sure how these appeals have to be filed. Because many people have been calling us, trying to check out how they have to file appeals. Because the BLOs are giving them a different version altogether. So all these things have to be addressed very seriously, so that the genuine voters are not left out of the rolls. And our main concern is that tomorrow, once the roll usage is finalized, and if it is used for any election, means the genuine voters will be left out, and sort of the ruling party, whatever agenda they had, probably may be successful in that. So we appeal to the people, the general public, to please spend little of the time either on the website or connect your local representatives and check the rolls whether your name is figuring or not. And if not, then please file appeals or whatever necessary forms have to be filled. File it and see that you come back on the electoral roll.
होय आता कितें जालां न्हू टुडे वी एडवोकेट अल्बर्टिन and myself we paid a visit to the CEO directly. We interacted with him हांगा येवचे पयलीं and we have put across these kind of grievances which now we are telling before the people of Goa before him. And one particular very important grievance is वोटराचे जर आता एक्सक्लूड जाल्ले आसा नाव इन द फायनल रोल जाल्यार ताचे कडेन हातान कित्याक म्हणून ते एक्सक्लूड जाला ती कसलीच ऑर्डर ना. एक विशाल पै काकोडे म्हणून who is an activist and from Margam, ताणे जेन्ना ताका व्हेरिफिकेशनाक आपयल्लो मडगांवां ताणे ERO कडल्यान एक ऑर्डर घेतली की आपली केस क्लियर जाली म्हणून आनी इलेक्शन कमिशनान पयलीं सांगलें स्पॉट डिसिजन जातलें म्हणून ERO विल गिव स्पॉट डिसिजन आनी ऑर्डर ताणे घेतली. पण अशे साबार जे आतां वोटर्स भायर पडल्या तांचे कडेन कसलीच ऑर्डर ना आनी अपील आमी करपाचें कशें जेन्ना हांव कित्याक म्हणून भायर पडला ते म्हज्या मुखार ग्रावंड्सच ना जाल्यार हाव एम आय सपोज टू अपील. हें आमी आज सीओ कडेन मांडलां. अल्बर्टिना विल एक्सप्लेन टू यू वॉट अदर डिस्कशन वी हॅड. बट दीस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट की आज ऑर्डर नासतना अपील कशें करपाचें आनी अपील करून गेल्यार ते म्हणटा ना फॉर्म 6 बरा द न्यू वोटर म्हणून यू कम इनसायड. कितें जाता आनी 20 वर्सांनी जर SIR जालो तेन्ना हितून ह्या रोलान तुमचें नांव लिंकेज मेळटलें काय ना होय प्रश्न आमी ताका विचारला. पण सीओन सांगला की डोंट वरी की लेट एडिशनान जी जातली दॅट वील बी फॉर्मिंग पार्ट ऑफ दी फायनल लिस्ट म्हणटा ते अशें ताणें वर्बली सांगलां. बिलीव हिम. पूण एक्चुअली खरें जातलें काय ना आय डोंट नो. कित्याक 20 वर्सांनी कोण आसतले कोण नासतले आमकां खबर ना. 2002 इंटेन्सिव्ह रिव्हिजन जाल्लें तेंय आमकां आज कोणाक खबर ना आणि आज ह्या वर्साक 2025 जेन्ना ते म्हणटा यू लिंक युअर नेम विथ 2002 रोल, तितून हो सगळो गडबड स्टार्ट जाला.
So, before that, we have also right through as Savya Putile has explained, we have been going to the various concerned authorities. So at one stage they announced that there is going to be a electoral roll observer. आणि तो लोकांची कितें ग्रीवन्सीस आसा SIR प्रोसेसाच्या बद्दल तो आयकतलो म्हणून आमी इलेक्टोरल रोल ऑब्झर्वर मिस्टर संदीप जाक्स तेका हांव वचून मेवलें ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ SIR सिटीजन्स मॉनिटर गोवा ग्रुप. आणि जेन्ना आमी मेवलें तेका सगळें बरोवन दिलां आणि तेंच्यांनी ते DEO फॉरवर्ड केले टू फ्लॅग विथ द कन्सर्न्स. So all the concerns which have been raised, that is that enumeration forms are not acknowledged, that the means there was no acknowledgement taken by the BLO for when he distributed the enumeration form, because he had no clear instructions. Then when the form is being submitted, there was no proper acknowledgement process. Some people in some parts of Goa did not get the other copy of the form with them. Then after that, the question is who is relative. So that who is relative is not properly defined. So if you say that, and suppose your relative's name was not there in the 2002 rolls for some reason, then it has been a nightmare. Or if it was deleted because they either got the relative acquired Portuguese nationality, then because there are many people who have there is one spouse who has Portuguese nationality and Indian nationality. So now if they got married after 2002, then they can't establish their linkage to somebody. Now, so we brought all these issues. Then also the special categories of people, such as vulnerable people who have faced domestic violence, or who are orphans, who from aged persons who have been deserted or divorced, and so their family, the marital family may not give them the enumeration form. So all these people have had issues, and we brought this also to the notice. They realized, they gave us a patient hearing, and that is the DEO North Goa, for example, was present when the electoral roll observer was being explained all the issues besides the written representation. So they gave us a patient hearing. They realized that there are categories of people for whom proactively the Election Commission of India has to take steps. But despite that, we have given that, we presume the electoral roll observer has put it up to the Election Commission based on the comments from the DEOs. We do not know what comments the DEOs have given, but there has been no call taken. We asked for extension of time for claims and objections because the documents खूप जाणांचे birth registration असा पयलींचे, आणि समज ते डॉक्युमेंट्स मेळना, सोमतेच मेळना केन्ना, थोड्यांचे सांडल्या, ते रजिस्ट्रीन सांडल्या, सो ते सोमतेच मेळना. एक्सटेंशन ऑफ टाइम मागले म्हणून 3 दिसान निमित म्हणजे तुम्ही मागले न्हू, आमी तुका एक्सटेंशन ऑफ टाइम दिला. आयतारा दीस अनाउन्स केला की एक्सटेंशन ऑफ टाइम दिता म्हणून, आनी सोमारा दीस लास्ट डेट एक्सटेंशनाचो. अशे प्रकारान नाम के वास्ते स्टेप्स केल्या. अशेंच इलेक्टोरल रोल ऑब्झर्वर इलेक्शन कमिशनान अपॉइंट केला अशें दिसता, पण इलेक्टोरल रोल ऑब्झर्वराक आमी जितलें सांगलां ते इलेक्शन कमिशनान has not taken it into account. Now, this is about the special categories of people. Then we have also said about many things, about, as I said, about relatives, about linkages, logical discrepancies, the issues that Radhika Desai has already explained to you. Oh, okay. The issues of logical, म्हणजे ते names, आता त्यांचे पेरेंट्स नेम्स आणि सर्टिफिकेटान काय किंवा खंयचे डॉक्युमेंट्स आणि हिंगा थिंगा स्पेलिंगाच्यो चुको आसा आनी अशें, सो देर आर लॉजिकल, सो दे कॅन नॉट एस्टॅब्लिश देअर लिंकेज टू दॅट पर्सन, सो टू द persons whose names were on the 2002 rolls. हे सगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स आसा ते आमी सगळे एक्सप्लेन केल्ले and therefore you need sufficient time म्हणून तरी तेंच्यांनी हे अकाउंट they didn't take into account. They announced the final role आणि जो फायनल रोल अनाउन्स केला त्याच्या बद्दल कितलेशे गोंयकारूच पयलीं सद्याक डिलीट जाल्ले आसा. ओके आनीकूय लोक डिलीट जाला पूण गोंयकार जे हिंगा रावता तेंच्या कडेन सगळे डॉक्युमेंट्स आसा ते डिलीट जाल्ले आसा. इफ यू नोटीस देर इज 1 lakh 27,000 1,27,468 voters who have been deleted. And so now we said आता तुम्ही म्हणता की अपील प्रोसेस आसा म्हणून 15 दीस दिल्या. पयलीं सद्या थोड्या लोकांक एन्युमरेशन फॉर्म्स पावना तेंचे कितें मागीर ते म्हणटा कितें यू कॅन फील फॉर्म 6. इफ यू कॅन फील फॉर्म 6 then what is the purpose, and they will include it, then what is the purpose of a special intensive role revision? So that is what we ask. So then what is the status if that person's this final order now in this 2026 final SIR role ते डिलीट मारून येयला जाल्यार मागीर आनी कितल्या वर्सांनी जेन्ना हे परते हे जाता स्पेशल इंटेन्सिव्ह रिविजन काय कितें तरी जाल्यार how they will see again they will have issues because it's deleted. So now when we met the chief electoral officer today morning, he says no, it will be included as a supplementary role, but that is what he is saying. But they have an obligation to publicly clarify these positions, to put these positions out on their websites, to ensure that it is put out everywhere, these roles. For example, the roles are not, this final draft role is not put out on the in the panchayats. It is put in the polling booths where wherever their polling booths were, and people are expected to go and see. So these are the issues that people are facing. If you have to file an appeal, people must know that where you can file an appeal. There is this thing that has been made, one announcement by some that you have to go to the district magistrate. But even if you have to go there, but the point is people must know this has to be public. Even for us, it is not so easy to just find where it is. After we are very educated and know these processes. So how much more difficult it will be for the simple folks who do not understand these complicated processes and what documents they have to produce. So therefore, we have made several demands, also of the CO and of the election commission, and we think also that the state government should have publicized and requested for extension. Other states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal have requested for extensions. They have been proactively involved in taking up the cause of their people, which the Goa state government has not been involved in.